magic hat. Question words. Kabir does not like Uncle Som sharing his room. He does not like his dress and funny hat. Why then does he give Uncle Som a big hug? Read and find out. Kabir, said his mother, Uncle Som is coming to stay with us next week. Why does he have to come? Said Kabir. Don't be selfish, said his mother. He comes to stay with us because he has no one to look after him during winter. I have explained it to you umpteen number of times. But he wears unfashionable and strange clothes, said Kabir. He was very annoyed. Don't be rude, scolded his mother. And remember, this year he will stay in your room with you. Kabir's mother invited Uncle Som every winter to stay with them. Kabir did not mind Uncle Som staying with them, but this year it was different. Kabir's family had shifted to a smaller house. Kabir had to share his room with Uncle Som. Kabir could do nothing but wait. So, Uncle Som arrived that Sunday morning. Kabir's parents went to collect him from the bus station. When Uncle Som entered the house, Kabir could not stop his giggle. Uncle Som looked funny. He had a yellow suitcase with him. He wore a green suit, a red tie and a maroon sun hat. Kabir's father tried hard to keep Uncle Som's hat in the cupboard, but he said, "Oh no, this hat comes with me." That night, Uncle Som went to bed early. "I'm tired from the journey," he said. Kabir had hoped that Uncle Sam would be with his parents for some time. This would give him time to watch his favorite TV program. He knew that Uncle Som did not like to watch and even disliked anybody else watching television in his presence. But nothing could be done now. He smiled politely and showed Uncle Som where the cupboard was and how the lamp worked. Afterwards, Kabir could not decide what was funnier, his yellow suit or his purple dressing gown with orange stripes. He had to stuff his hands into his mouth to stop himself laughing out loud. Kabir could not sleep. He lay in bed awake and listening hard. Is he going to snow? He thought. Just then he heard a squeaky voice. Snow? Why? He doesn't snore at all. What? Who is this? It seems as if whoever you are know what I am thinking, said Kabir loudly. Well, it can, said Uncle Som. Who can? Asked Kabir. My hat, of course. It is a magical hat and can do things that I want it to do. What a strange man, thought Kabir. Strange? Asked the squeaky voice again. Whom are you calling strange? I'm sorry, I did not mean to say that. I said it because it seemed impossible, said Kabir. Dear hat, behave yourself and learn to keep quiet. He is just a child, said Uncle Sam. I don't know anything, but Uncle Som, I feel hurt when this boy thinks you are strange, replied the squeaky little voice. Well, you can't stop people from thinking what they want to, said Uncle. Now, my dear hat, let's think of better things. What shall we do tonight? In fact, I'm just thinking of going to Paris tonight. You can, said the hat. It is the best season of the year. Good, said Uncle, looking at Kabir. Now, Kabir, sit with me on this sofa. Close your eyes and touch this hat. Kabir on the sofa, closed his eyes and touched the hat. Suddenly, everything went round and round. Soon, Kabir found himself on top of a tall structure. Where am I? Asked Kabir in amazement. It does not look like any place I know. This is Paris, said Uncle Som. It is the capital city of a country called France. France? You mean to say we are in France? Screamed Kabir in excitement. Uncle Som smiled and added, And you are standing on top of the Eiffel Tower. Do you like it? Like it? Shouted Kabir. I love it, Uncle Som. Finally, they came down. Kabir looked around and saw something that made his mouth water. He saw a man selling candy floss. Looking at Uncle Som and pointing towards the candy floss sticks, Kabir said, I want one of those. Soon Kabir was eating a pink candy floss. It was the tastiest candy floss he had ever eaten. But just then, a strange thing happened. Uncle Som's hat began to flutter. It seems as if it is time to go home, said Uncle Som. Just shut your eyes and think of home. Kabir did just that. In a minute, Kabir found himself on the sofa. Uncle Som, it was a lovely trip. Thanks so much for it. Uncle Som smiled and asked, Where do you want to go tomorrow? Kabir looked at the hat and said, I leave it to you, dear friend. Take me wherever you want to. He then put the hat carefully on the table and gave Uncle Som a hug.